Not YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Not here. Not here.
Huh?
Not here.
Not here. Not right now, anyway.
Here. He should be here on court days, I guess, right?
Yeah. He just walked up to someone's car and say, all right, how much weed's in the car? Well, okay.
Not weed, that's oregano.
Yeah. So Jacob Price got 250 pounds the other night in trash bags in the back seat.
Nice.
Guy said he didn't know it was there.
You thought it was a
We are on hot mics, guys. It is 6:30. We're going to get started on this meeting, but before we do that, we have the city council meeting. We have a swearing-in ceremony. So if you all will stand up, please. And if you would, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and I will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of office of Ward City Council
the duties of the office of Ward City Council,
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. If you'll sign those forms, and then city clerk will collect them, and we're on again.
Mind that sheet?
And with that, call the meeting to order. Mr. Hall, would you give us a prayer, please, sir?
Lord, we thank you for the day. We thank you for the opportunity to serve in this capacity. We thank you for each one that has given of their time. We pray that you would bless the meeting, be with us as we make decisions, guide us, we pray, and be glorified in our lives. In Jesus' name,
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good. Thank you. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Hall,
Here.
Councilmember Chapman,
Here.
Councilmember McMahon. Here. Councilmember Hefner. Here. Councilmember Brooke is absent, and Councilmember Rubel.
Here.
And we do have a quorum. Thank you very much. Get started on our agenda. If you had a chance to review the council meeting minutes December 17th, I'd entertain a motion to approve as presented.
Motion.
I have
Motion, we have
one thing.
Sure.
I'm marked absent. It says that I was not here.
And then there's a part
I didn't see it. Sorry.
lower where you entered in.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we good?
Yes.
So we have a motion to approve. We have a second?
Second.
Very good. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda is department reports, financials. Entertain a motion to approve as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. There is no planning commission report tonight because you got your planning commission report last meeting because they met a little early, so we'll go on. To new business. Ordinance number 2025-01. Could you read the title, please?
City Council Rules and Procedures, an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance 2024-01, establishing the rules and procedures to be used by the Ward City Council, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
Council, this is our annual how we do business. There are some changes. I provided this to you last month as a read ahead. I'll open the floor for discussion.
I make a motion.
A motion for its first reading.
Second.
A motion, second for a first reading. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
and Councilmember Rubel.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-01 has been approved on its first reading. I entertain a motion to suspend the second and third reading.
Motion.
Second.
A motion and second on suspending the second and third reading. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'd entertain a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-01.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
and Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-01 has been approved or been adopted. Entertain a motion to invoke the emergency clause.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
and Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-01 has been approved with emergency clause and effective immediately. Council, next on the agenda shows the discussion of water tank inspection report. I'd like to move the discussion on the trees above that, if you don't mind. Any opposition to that? Seeing none. Ms. Aaron, would you come forward? Little do we know that Ms. Erin Mixon, who's our chairman of the Planning Commission, is also a tree expert from a previous life.
Let's not go that far.
Okay.
But I did help with the tree sale at my last locality, or two localities ago. Anyway, there were two separate types, and I did give him a couple of the things to pass out to y'all. The first one was the memorial. That's the one that doesn't have the pictures of the trees. And then the second one was the public tree sale that does have. And what would happen was with the private property sale, the tree sale would be set up by the tree board. They would pick 4 trees every year. They would pick 2 deciduous and 2 coniferous trees to kind of try to maintain tree diversity, which helps if there's any kind of plague or anything that comes through and wipes out trees. Helps where there's still trees in the area. And so people would be able to buy them. They'd come in like a 5-gallon bucket, and they'd just pick them up on a Saturday. Parks staff would hand them out, and that was pretty simple. They'd have to plant it on private property, not in any easements or along the sidewalk or anything like that. And it was just a way to add more trees to the neighborhoods, because builders come in, they raise the land, they build the houses, and there's not a lot of trees, so it helps with adding trees back into the neighborhood. The memorial one was one that I thought may work for the park, and that was, we had a specific park in town that people would buy a tree and it would be donated. So there'd be a plaque at the bottom of the tree that would have a ceremony every Arbor Day for the new trees that were planted. We have about 17 each year. And they would come out, and kids from the local elementary school would sing a song about trees. It was, a whole Arbor Day celebration that went through the tree board. Obviously, Ward is not big enough right now to have a tree board, but I know we did at one time.
Maybe a
Mr.
tree
Brooks told me.
committee.
Yeah, yeah. So they would do that, and then those were a little more expensive because they were 5 foot instead of the saplings in the 5-gallon bucket. So they were well established, and they'd be staked and maintained by the Parks Department. So,
Interesting.
and when I talked to my coworker, she said that they stopped in 2022 because they had filled up the park. So then they started thinking about doing benches and things like that. So there's other ways to, help people memorialize their loved ones within the park systems. But I thought you were saying you wanted to get rid of the Bradford pears, and that could be a way to reintroduce some new trees into the parks.
The only question I have is possibly using somebody local instead of this for the same type of program, do it along the same lines, but use a local.
Yeah, and that's what they did. That's the city I worked for, so that's why I brought that paper. But they worked with a local nursery in the area, and I don't want to add anything to any of the departments, but the parks head was the one that did it, and I don't want to add anything to her because I know she's busy. But it's a little different for me because I'm trying to come to you as a board volunteer member, whereas there I was staff, so it was a little bit easier to coordinate through that. But yeah, that would be how you would need to do it, is find like the one up in Beebe down towards the school board building.
Angie or, yeah,
There-
that's who I've been talking to.
Yeah, so.
Well, if we found a source, we'd probably try to stay in Lonoke County so we can keep our tax dollars
Oh,
in the
nice.
county.
That'd be perfect, yeah. Yeah, but that way,
I think Beebe has
So they
cheaper
get-
taxes than Ward too.
Pardon
well,
me?
Beebe has cheaper taxes than Ward.
Okay, but we still want to keep taxes.
yeah, keep it in our county. But yeah, you said that you got a grant, or you had looked into getting a grant to help pay for it, so that would be a way to help pay for the trees to do that way. But there's just 2 separate types that you could look into.
Yeah, I know Michelle was wanting to do the memorial.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get rid of the Bradford pears
I understand, yeah.
and put some natives around.
Right. Well, I mean, I think natives is great, but also like Ward is kind of low-lying. And so I think, things like wisteria that wick up a bunch of water would probably help for people that have, like if we did a private tree sale, it'd be a good option for people that have low-lying lawns that collect water,
Yes,
So.
I have one of those.
Yeah.
Good deal.
All right. Not a lot, but
Thank
give you
you.
a little bit of an idea to start with.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Council,
Thank you.
what do you want to do with this information? We could create a tree committee and kind of get together and with some staff members and some volunteers possibly, and see about doing something like this.
After that.
Would you like to chair the
Make a
committee?
motion to.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to create a tree committee. And the chair is going to be Miss Robin.
The 5,000 for beautification,
Mm-hmm.
would that come under this? Should it be a beautification committee?
We can call it whatever we want and use the funds whatever we want anyway, so,
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to make sure.
yeah. When it gets to that point, when we start talking about spending, we'll talk about that. But right now, anybody want to be on this tree committee with Robin?
I have some ideas, but I'm committed out. I can't about it anymore. I did meet with Arkansas Forestry and Conservation a couple of weeks ago to look at some property to tell us what we should be planning and what we could do. They're over in Lonoke County, and they would probably be willing to come out and kind of
Right.
give us all that too. They do a plan and all that stuff.
Yeah, we had them come up to the Yellville property and tell us, oh, you got lizards if you clear out your cedar. So they gave us a plan on what to do. I think they cover a lot of cost.
They do. Well, you'd have to do it now, and you can apply in October for the next year.
I need to talk to you because we got that grant,
Mm-hmm.
but they never gave us any money to do anything, so
You have to do the stuff first, I think.
I thought they were supposed to pay you and then,
No, you have to do the stuff and then
To reimburse?
reimburse.
Okay.
That means we gotta do it ourselves.
So, does anybody else want to be on the committee with Robin?
I'll do it by myself.
I can be on there.
Okay. So Mr. Charles and Ms. Robin will get us started. I'll add Michelle to this committee. She's not here to say no. She's probably watching, sorry, but,
Anybody in the audience? No.
we'll start off with that, and go from there. How's that? Okay. Any further discussion on the trees? Thank you, Aaron.
Are you leaving? Yes. Can I ask you one quick question?
You didn't get out of here fast enough.
Well, I was going to ask you a minute ago, but I thought, well, no, I'll have time later to ask. In the resolutions that we're purchasing two drainage detention ponds, and we had discussed before rain gardens. Can you keep that back here?
And back of your mind,
I know you're busy, but just so I can pick your brain and see what it would take to create rain gardens in the detention ponds.
I can send you a link to a really good resource that I
Okay.
have that shows how to plant along the sides and within it to help.
without control of the vegetation.
Correct.
Right.
Okay,
And that's
good.
control the erosion?
Yes.
Okay.
And it would also help drain the water faster
Okay.
to have the plants to suck it in. So, all
Thank you.
right.
Goodbye.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm done.
Okay.
Well, I'm done with that.
Got it. All right. Next on the agenda is discussion on water tank inspection. If you remember, council, we did have approved a company, Pittsburgh, to come out and do a water tank inspection. They have done that, provided us report, quite extensive report. So I brought Mr. Tommy Bond with us to discuss this. What I was going to do is go through this, and then we'll open this floor for discussion on what we want to do, what we propose. The staff and Mr. Bond and I sat down last week and went through the report and knocked some things in and out. Anyway, there's a picture of all the tanks that are in play. In the report, you can't see very well, but in the report, to do all the things they say need to be done right now, it's $900,000. What we did, like I said, we met with Mr. Bond and Bruce and I, and we went line by line in this report, and we called it down to $408,000. Part of this will be to take down one complete tank, take it offline, and I'll go through that in just a second. So let's start with the beginning. Stagecoach tank that's broke down critical structure, OSHA, deficiency, non-critical, and preventative. And going through line by line in the report, we recommend, of course, the critical $4,700 is removed to sediment. Will require us to drain that tank to allow that to be cleaned out and have to refill it, of course. And then some structural items. The OSHA, there's some OSHA items that need to be fixed. In 2032, I believe it is, OSHA items become mandatory and there's no grandfathering. So we might as well start doing some of the OSHA stuff now. And then continue on. $81,000, and also includes a pressure wash the interior. While we have it empty, you might as well pressure wash it. And then the install the mixing system is not a requirement, but it's going to be a requirement. So while we have it down, let's go ahead and install that now. So $81,300 for that tank. Get to the next tank, which is sports complex, the hydro pillar. $14,700 for dry interior clean out. No structural problems with that. That's the newest tank we have. Some non-critical install a mixing system and pressure wash the interior of the facility, the wet area up there, for $86,000. The tank on Peyton Street, as we all see it as we drive back and forth, we're going to recommend that be taken down. And we have talked about that. It's $100,000 gallon storage, minimum effect on pressure. They want $257,000 in estimated repairs to fix this tank. It's not really a tank, according to Mr. Bond and Bruce, that is needed. And quite frankly, I've never been fond of where it's at, surrounded by those houses. That just bothers me. So I'll ask you in a minute, we'll talk about this, but we're going to ask for to go out for a proposal to see what it costs to have that taken down and taken out of service. Across the street, yeah, as you, around the corner, yep.
In the guy's backyard.
Yeah. Yeah, we have, by your house. And we have right of way and, all that back here, but it's gonna be a challenge to take that one down. And finally, the Highway 321, critical, it needs an abrasive blast on the interior and dry clean out. Again, it'll be taken out of service, drained, and all this work be done on it. It by far has the most work that needs to be done at $240,000. But there's silver lining in this, I'll get to in just a second. Motions, let me back up on that. Here's what my future actions. Starting this year, I want to start taking at least 3% of our water revenue and dedicating it to future tank maintenance fund. Department of Health is requiring us to do tank inspections every 5 years now. We just went through ours. That'll be about $85,000 a year. And then in 2026, budget, complete the open items on the Stagecoach tank. 27, budget the open items on 321 tank, and budget the open items on the sports complex, or the Hydropillar, in 2028 and 29, 20 and beyond. Repeat the tank inspection every 5 years, but you will be building up a portion of the fund to take care of future needs on tank maintenance. Going back, we'll open the floor for discussion, and Mr. Bond's here to answer the technical side of it. Bruce is here also, so Mr. Bond?
Well, I think the mayor pretty well covered it. We went through every item that Pittsburgh Des Moines put in their list, and these numbers I might mention are their estimates for the cost of the work.
Right.
So we eliminated some of their things, kept what we felt was important. Keep in mind that we've got to draw a set of plans and submit them to the health department. So those items may change slightly once the health department sees what we're doing.
Right. And also, where you have for request for proposals, the costs may change up or down.
Well, I think the mayor showed you a budget of about $410,000, but that didn't include the removal of the tank on Peyton.
This is true.
So, and I have in my mind $25,000 or $30,000. It may be more than that. We'll take bids and find out. I'm hoping that we can sell that puppy to somebody and maybe make a little money or at least break even.
If it was out in open field, not surrounded by houses, somebody would buy it for the metal and take it down.
Yeah, probably would. And I think, I may be wrong, but I think that's your oldest tank. I think that tank was built in '68.
Okay, and Brian, our resident expert on all that, is shaking his head yes.
And that was part of the original water system for Ward.
This will come back to us for further discussion on cost spending and all that, but to get started, we need authorization to do a request for proposals to demo that tank, see what those costs come on, and also a request for proposal to repair the remaining tanks as modified, as we discussed, plus also have to send it to the Department of Health, see what they have to say about it first. Mr. Bond will take care of that through a contract with him.
How many gallons is the biggest, the one sports complex?
1.5 million.
Do we need, if we're gonna demo the one, do we need a bigger or another one, or?
In time, we will need another tank in another position. We're looking at possibly out, I think we're doing just some general discussion, out off of Brewer in that area, to raise the pressures and get more storage capacity.
But I think I wrote the mayor a letter several months ago, and I want to say it was at least 10 years we felt like before you would need another tank.
Right.
Okay.
And as we continue forward and have this money put back, and that's helping us.
So, Mr. Bond said something about somebody would be interested in this Peyton tank. Would they not, if somebody's interested, would they not pay to take it down instead of us paying to take it down?
Right.
Yeah, we're hoping we can sell it and get some money back.
That's what I was going to say.
We'll try for that, but I mean, we really need to find out if it's doable. I have my doubts that somebody's gonna come and take it down where it is without being paid because of where it is.
It's pretty tight. It's right behind that guy's house. It's his driveway, actually, I
Two
guess.
of them. They share a driveway, yeah. So council, one at a time, I need a motion to allow us to go forward with a request for proposal to demolish the paint tank.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any further discussion?
Public.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good, that motion carries. Next motion is authorization to issue a request for proposal to clean and repair the remaining tanks as we modified them.
Do you need a proposal for all the tanks or just year by year?
No, this is, the first one's gonna be all the tanks right now, all the remaining tanks. The year by year is what is left that we pulled out that we don't really need to do right now.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
Okay, so we have a motion to run a proposal out for cleaning, repairing the tanks and other items as modified. Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any discussion in the audience, sorry. None, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Bond, thank you very much, sir. We'll be talking.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next on the agenda is ordinance 2025-02. Would you read the title, please?
An ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance 2022-02, an ordinance establishing a procedure for the purchasing, sale, or exchange of property in the city of Ward and for other purposes.
Council, this updates the amount of, the limit before we have to go out and do bids to 42,921, and as approved by the state legislation. And then that's going to be in, I think it's another 5 years before they make an adjustment, so that's all this does. Open floor for discussion?
Now, I thought the mayor's approval was still at 5,000.
No, it's 10,000, been 10,000 for a
Oh,
long
okay.
time. And I'm not asking for that, this is just raising.
Well, no, I just thought it was at 5,000 still. I guess I'm still in at 2020,
I don't know, it's been 10,000 for a long time.
2000.
Any case.
1999.
Yeah, it was a good year.
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
and a second for its first reading. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
and Councilmember McMinn.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2025-02 has been approved on its first reading. Council, this can go to the next agenda next month, or we can continue on. Your decision.
Motion, suspend the second and third reading.
Okay, we have a motion to suspend the second and third reading. We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. With that, I'd entertain a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-02.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMinn,
Yes.
and Councilmember Hefner.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-02 has been approved, and it'll be effective in 30 days. Next on the agenda is ordinance 2025-03. Would you read the title, please?
An ordinance repealing and replacing City of Ward ordinances 2024-05, designating places for the posting of ordinances, prescribing other matters related thereto, and declaring an emergency.
This just updates where we post out things. Rock's closed, and we had to find another place.
I make a motion, we accept and suspend second and third and move along.
We can't do all that at one time.
Why not?
Let's do, because we cannot. Let's do one at a time. Let's do the first reading. Okay, you got a motion for first reading?
Yes.
Okay, we got a second?
Second.
All right. Roll call. Any discussion? None. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
and Councilmember Rubel.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-03 has been approved for its first reading. I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules for second and third reading.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed. I'd entertain a motion to adopt.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
and Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-03 has been adopted, approved. I entertain a motion to invoke the emergency clause.
Motion.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
and Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-03 has been approved, adopted, and declared an emergency and effective immediately.
I see if we'd done it the first time, we would have saved 5 minutes.
Understand that? And we would not have been, anyway,
And where's the car?
hang on.
I don't see an attachment.
Resolution 2025-01. Read the title, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and/or the city clerk of ward to enter into a contract to purchase one 2025 Dodge Durango police pursuit vehicles from Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas.
Council, this has already been approved into the budget for this year to purchase a new vehicle. Does that.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? And with the new rules, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution is approved.
Now, why is it marked? Oh, trade-in information. Who's going to be driving this?
A cop.
Yeah, patrols.
So, I got a question. With,
After it's been approved?
yeah,
Okay.
it didn't make any difference, but, I know we just approved one.
That was a replacement for the one that got crashed.
Well, that's where I was going. I was asking if we had already replaced that one or if we needed to go ahead and do another one of these. That's where I was going with that.
Let's evaluate that and come back. You already approved this one in the 25 budget. So we've talked with Chief, we've decided we want to press forward, we'll come back, okay? Come on up, Chief.
To directly answer his question.
Well, when you get up here to the mic, please.
Getting there, just move slow.
I understand, sir.
To directly answer your question, yes, we have already replaced the crashed one. Y'all had already approved that. I've got,
What I was getting at is whether we needed to approve another one
While they're getting good.
while we're at that price before they go back up.
Well, this is a 25 contract,
Right.
so it's set.
yes, no, I've
I
got,
mean, there's still some pigs back there that need to go, so.
yeah, well, I've got 3 2024s and I've got 2 2025s. So right now,
I think we're good right now.
if they tear up another one, I'll be back.
All right. Resolution 2501 was approved by motion. All right. Resolution 2502, read title, please.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of 2 detention ponds in the Oakland Grove Estates subdivision.
Council, as we move forward on a lot of these subdivisions, we're pushing them to turn the detention ponds over to us, so we can better manage those for stormwater. And this is 2 of them in that area that the developer, in fact, he's already filled out the paperwork and turned it into county and all this is a good thing for us. It allows us to better manage our stormwater prevention, stormwater runoff.
Do you have the map you can put up there? Because this is hard for me to see.
Well, no, I don't.
I have to bounce between glasses and no glasses, but I have surgery Thursday morning.
Okay.
So,
You want to see the map of where they are?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what
Do you have one? I'm looking at the plumbing.
No.
I have a question.
Yes.
While you're doing that. So by us taking these on, we're increasing the workload of the city works department because they're gonna have to maintain these things. And if we keep doing that, we're gonna they'll be just mowing yards all summer long.
These are simple to maintain.
And
As
that's why you
simple
make
as
them
the
a
one that
rain
we weren't
garden.
maintaining, that we just went to view?
Which one's that?
The one that we talked about turning into more of a park, and then it was such an ordeal because it hadn't been kept up.
Huntington, don't y'all have a?
She's talking about the one back
Oh, Willow Lake, that's an entire lake thing. That's a different story.
Well, I know, but it's the same thing. I'm just saying,
This is just
we're taking
detention
all those
ponds.
in if we're
Well,
gonna maintain them or not.
There won't be water there most of the time,
Correct.
only
So there'll
whenever
be
we
more to
have bad
mow?
rain.
Mayor, I got some.
Okay, go ahead.
So those detention ponds are actually a part of our stormwater, so we're more or less obligated to take care of them regardless. And it's just easier if they're ours versus trying to deal with people, like some sort of maintenance agreement and trying to get them to take care of them. It's just easier if we do it. Those are pretty small, so it's not anything major. I mean, if you upkeep them and just mow them here and there, it wouldn't take more than probably a couple hours each time we got to go over there and do it, if that. So it just ensures that they actually get taken care of.
Thanks, Dave. That's in my backyard.
A squirrel and a mushroom.
I know.
No wonder he's squirrely.
Trying to get
He
to,
was eating the mushroom.
well, I'm trying to get to that, and I don't know if that's gonna happen or not.
But those retention ponds too would be great places for rain gardens, which would help absorb the stormwater back into the ground.
Do you still wanna see these? Otherwise,
I would like to see where they are.
okay.
You're saying they're very small. Are they this big?
Let me see here. Still won't come up.
Okay, never mind. What street are they on?
Most except,
Where? What'd you say?
Yeah, actually, no,
I'm just curious.
no, we haven't done these, did we? No, we haven't done these yet.
I was just,
Ferguson, Saunders. Saunders, out in Oakland Grove. You know where the new Dollar General is?
yeah.
That subdivision back there.
Well, where's the big one that the guy came to?
I still don't know what you're talking about, the big one.
No, this was not a pond. It was a detention pond that he said was like a football field size.
Not here.
That's what the guy said, but, okay.
I'm not sure, but I don't remember that at all.
James?
I-
It was probably after one of my surgeries.
Okay. Okay. Can I get back to the PowerPoint?
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
was just curious where they are, but I'll look at a Google map.
Oh, sure. You should be able to see them. Okay,
Thank you.
I think we're back. Resolution 2025-02, we've had discussion. I entertain a motion to accept.
I have one more question.
Sure.
When it says purchase, we aren't actually paying for it, though.
$10,
$5 a piece?
pretty much, but $10, yeah.
motion.
Second.
Yeah, okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any disapproval? No. My resolution 2025-02 has been approved. Resolution 2025-03, read title, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and/or city clerk of the city of Ward to purchase material needed for the installation of a water line.
Council, this is Bruce, you want to come forward?
Yeah, so this section of line is to loop our system from Sweetwater. We have a line on Sweetwater, and we have a line on Moon Road, and currently it's not looped over there. And so to get, better pressure and water flow for fire control and stuff in that area, we need to loop that section. And that's basically what this is for, so,
It's gonna be in-house.
yeah.
And you're going to a bigger line too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 6 all the way down to the corner.
Which is what we needed for fire hydrant or fire protection.
Motion. Second.
Okay, we have a motion to second to approve. Any further discussion?
Motion second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is Resolution 2025-04. Read title, please.
A resolution authorizing the Ward Water Office Manager to destroy certain documents not otherwise needed.
Is required by state law. We need to destroy water and wastewater records. This will require one member of the governing body, when it comes time to destroy them, to come in and witness and sign the affidavit. I think you did it last time. Wasn't you? I thought it was you. Maybe not. Anyway, routine.
Motion.
A motion to approve.
Second.
And second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda is various certificates of deposit. If you remember last month, you authorized me to move some rollovers from CDs. They did roll over. We rolled over most of them at 1 year at 4.26. We did split one and keep a little over $1 million at a 6-month CD for anticipation of the vacuum amount that we may need. That's at a 4.1%. So those are done and rocking along very good. Next on the agenda, discussion 2025 city calendar. Council, I have possibility, I may not be here or just getting back next meeting on the 18th. I'd like to move it a week later. Would that bother anybody? Anybody look at the calendars? I think that takes us to the 25th, right?
25th?
25th?
29.
25th.
Good.
18 plus 7, I think it's 25. On that, what, this particular year? True. All right. If that's okay, I'd entertain a motion to move February's meeting from the 18th to 25th.
Motion.
A motion. Second. All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, council. Also, Christmas Eve holiday. Christmas Eve, we get off. That's on a Wednesday. Christmas is on Thursday, which means we come back to work Friday. We'd like to move the Christmas Eve day off from Wednesday to Friday. Is that okay?
How about just this year? How
Just
about
this-
just give them Friday too?
Pardon me?
How about just this year, just give them Friday too?
We get 5 days off. That might be problematic. A lot of reasons. You're just gonna give,
Why don't you give them the option? They can either work Christmas Eve and off Friday.
then we either have to shut it down or not. Otherwise, we get into it. The easiest way, council, is just to move the date.
If this is what the employees want,
This isn't what the employees will get if I give it to them, so.
Second.
So a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Mayor, I got a quick question.
Yes.
It's backtracking on the vacuum. When is the deadline on that, on the loan?
I forget the exact date. Sometime it's later in this year that we have to do this. Mr. Bond is working up the construction costs right now. We get all that done up and then we'll put that out for bid, see how we are and see if we are. I think, right, if we had to make a decision today, we have the money in the bank to pay for it and not have to give that loan. And so we may want to just go ahead and maybe next month, just go ahead and authorize me to turn that loan down and we'll press on. But, okay, not on the agenda, but I gave you a read ahead basically for an ordinance that I wanted to run through tonight, but city attorney's out of town. We should have a copy of it. Anyway, just take that read ahead. We'll tackle next month. He didn't review it, so I can't, in good faith, ask you to approve something the city attorney hasn't read yet. Yes. What's going on, and we could do this another way, but what's going on is another company, Comcast, is coming in, and they were only gonna bring in maybe 3 crews at a time. Well, they're bringing in a lot more crews, which is giving us more locates. You know, our guys had to go out and locate the water lines. We had, 43 yesterday or today or something like that? Locates, which is overtasking us. Bryant did this particular ordinance. I literally just basically renamed it board, to where you limit the number of permits you release. Right now, we don't even have a permitting process for companies coming in and putting fiber optics or whatever in the right of way. This will allow us to do that. Also allow us to limit them to 1,000 linear foot at a time so we can get a better handle on it. It's something that really, really needed, and I was hoping that we could pass this thing tonight so it could be in effect and tell the companies, because we got 2 more companies, we understand, coming in to bring more fiber optics in. We're going to have.
I have a question about that.
Sure.
I guess I'll turn this on.
Thank you.
Is there gonna be a little bit more checks and balances than than what happened when the last bunch come through, tearing up streets and everything else?
This will allow us to do that, because then they'll be permitted. We'll know who's doing what where. We did not, it was a circus, basically. And a lot of towns, with the release of all the broadband money, got caught off guard. We did too. And we weathered the storm, we thought, but it's coming around for, say, round 2 or round 3 or round 4. So we want to get this in place to give us a better handle on permitting this. Doesn't cost per permit, but allows us to have a paper trail of who's doing what and where, and limit how many it is. Now, we could, A, call a special meeting once the city attorney reads this and gives the okay. B, just let it go until next month. I'd rather not do that. Or C, I think, and I may be wrong on this, and I'll ask the city attorney, I could ask for you to approve it contingent upon his approval. That it doesn't go into effect until he approves it, or he signs off on it. And then we approve it. And then it goes into effect with the emergency clause.
I did not see an amount.
There's no amount. There's no amount, there's no cost for the permit.
No, a number, it says to limit them.
It's 1,000 feet, 1,000 linear feet.
Oh, I thought it was how many
No.
permits.
Every 1,000 feet.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
But it also comes with a map
All over the place.
and all that, so we know where they're at.
Since you got this from from Brian, you said Brian, I think. you
Brian,
said.
yeah.
I don't have a problem. Let's go ahead and make a motion based upon his review of it, if you want to do that
Well,
contingent.
Let's word the motion that, because it's an ordinance, so it would have to be, reading of the first motion contingent upon the city attorney approving the final product.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we have a motion
Second.
and a second. All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes,
and Councilmember Rubel.
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance 2024-04 has been approved on the first reading contingent upon the city attorney approving it. I would entertain a motion to suspend the second and third reading.
Motion.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I entertain a motion for adopt ordinance 2024 with the contingency.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes,
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
and Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Ordinance 2024 has been adopted with the contingency. I entertain a motion for the emergency clause with the contingency also.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
yes,
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
and Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance 2025-04 has been approved with the emergency clause with the contingency of the attorney approve it. If I find out that we cannot do this, we'll void this and come back and do it a different way. But thank you, council. All right, next on the agenda is my report. Starts 4. We're waiting on a decision on Metro Plan for the additional funding. If you remember, we put in a package to them for additional funding because the cost was way high. I think we're going to have a favorable input on that, just the vibe, if you will, I'm getting from them. I think probably this week or next week we'll get that. The sidewalk project for starts 5 down Brewer Street is at 60% submittal. Waiting for RDOT to comment on that. We've already talked about the vacuum gauge. Mr. Bond's working on that. The body cam grant project, we got the $75,000 from the Arkansas Department of Public Safety. The $34,000 grant from Bureau of Justice was disapproved. AEDC is already AEDD, whichever one of them, the acronyms are. Yeah, they are working on the bid right now to publish it. So we get moving forward on that. The UDO, we're still tweaking it just a bit. I'll set some public hearings probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks. We'll get some public hearings out. License plate reader, all the initial cameras, the cameras on the initial contract have finally been installed. Yes. We're finally up and operational, and we're working through the process of getting the other license plate reader cameras and the 2 live cameras that the council has approved in the budget. The Consolidated 911 Center continues. It'll probably be the end of April before it is fully up and running. We have run into some other administrative issues on that side, but we're working through them with the county attorneys and the city attorney. Right, right. Land use master plan, Hoff Engineering is working on that plan. The listing of the water off building, like I said, we're hold off of that until we get the UDO in place. I did talk to Metro Plan. They're going to facilitate doing a strategic plan for the city. There'll be a contract with them. They're working that up, and depending on the cost, may have to bring it back to you, but it shouldn't be that much for them to work that up for us and then facilitate. My idea is, or my thought is, that they facilitate the entire process. So it's not driven by the city or led by the city. It's led by a third party that will help us and the citizens develop a strategic plan for the city. Fire Department district dues, still waiting on the county attorney to make some thought process on that, but between he and myself and Chris, our city attorney, we're keeping that up. So the grant opportunities that you'd give me approval last month on, we are working on the process. Deadline is February 21st, and we'll get those put in. And last, I need a motion to approve. There's a 2025 fireworks bids. The same company that has been doing it for the last 2 years, $11,400. It's a $400 increase from last year. It's above my pay grade, so I need your approval.
Motion to approve.
A motion and then a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's approved. Thank you very much. Anything from y'all? That's added to the ordinance also. I've opened it up for y'all. So.
Quick question.
Yes, ma'am, sir.
The lights that we bought for the
I don't know.
tree, did they
Yeah,
ever come
they
in?
never come in. I need to look on that.
Also,
As soon as you said that, I never thought about it.
the tree where the Girl Scout house
Yes, sir.
was, you said you were gonna look into that. Still, you can't see when you come around the curve there, and I just wondered. And it looks like it's hollow and about to fall over. Anyway.
Brian, can you do a work order up for that tree at the old Girl Scout hut? Take a look at it and trim it back? Yes. Yes. Trim it back. Thank you.
Does that have half a fence around it?
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious if that I was in the right place in the dark.
Okay.
Community garden there.
We talked about that, yeah.
What kind is it though?
Okay. Announcements.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
also, we didn't do water committee.
No, we didn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what we're working on, which we'll eventually be bringing to you guys, we're working on doing a biannual newsletter that we would send out twice a year, obviously. One probably going into the summer and then one in the winter. So it would have reminders and things on it. It would have the first ones we wanted to put some explanations of how to read your water bill and how to sign up for the text messages and all that kind of stuff. They'd be available for new customers to have when they sign up. and then we would send them out. We want to send them out in the mail. We talked to Zealous too about them helping produce some of it to put the information in there about how to do additional pickup and sanitation. Bruce said he'd like to get it out before we have the first new pickup clean.
Well, that's next week.
Oh, okay, well, we won't get that. We'll get in the next round, but,
I gotta remember that.
yeah. So that way we can try to improve the communication.
There you go.
And we've tried a little bit of everything to get everything out to everybody. And when I've talked to several people, I'm like, how do you get your information? Stuff is on social media, stuff on the website. So this way we can try to cover everything, every possible way to communicate to our community.
Of course, the committee will be working with the city on getting this out. But yeah, next week is our Zella's first quarterly pickup of yard waste, and this has been put out on our social media and our website. But other announcements: Planning Commission will meet on 27th. We're still tentatively looking at the City Hall yard sale, the items that you authorized me to sell last month, next month. The City Award Blood Drive is February 5th, and now the City Council meeting is going to be February 25th. And that is all I have. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. We are adjourned.